And I was like, what? What? Oh, do you want me to read? Like, I got quite emotional, like, being there again and seeing everyone, and it was surreal.
I was so scared coming onto the set every day and not really knowing. I was kind of in a weird place in my life, and I just didn't anticipate. My mom grew up here, that old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately.
She's a legend.
What do you think that, I mean, there's so much hype around, you know, this film, and we're looking at 40 years later. I mean, you weren't even born at the time.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think the allure is to this sequel?
Well, you've kind of been saying it where we're kind of hitting a sweet spot where it's been just enough time for people who saw it in the theaters for the first time to feel nostalgic for it, but then also there's young people who haven't seen a movie like this before, because there hasn't really been a movie like it since, that it's exposing them to new ideas, and hopefully has that kind of inspiring, exciting quality that it did when it first hit theaters.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is an
like
original.
It has a lot of, like, you know, generations, you know, I mean, that saw it and have such a affection for it, and also I think there's like so much heart in this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I got quite emotional, like, being there again and seeing everyone, and it was surreal, but it was a really beautiful experience.
And even in the first, I think, as wild as it was, and as new as everything in the movie was, the characters are grounded. They're real. I mean, even Beetlejuice is consistent. He's a consistent character. Hasn't grown much. Yeah, and like you say, your son reacted scary and funny. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like reprising these roles that you all did so many years ago? Was it like riding a bike and jumping back into it?
I was terrified until the first day, and I was really terrified. And we started with how it opens with me, like, hosting the show, and then just after a few takes, Tim came up and was like, actually, just try one where you're really sincere. And actually, I was like, yeah, Lydia is actually a very sincere character. She may be, you know, dramatic and, you know, cynical, but she is, there is a purity and a sincerity, and there is just like a real love in this.
Spread after like a so random.
You're that thing from my dream. Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
Where does that chemistry come from with you and Tim?
Oh, I think we have a lot of the same sense of humor, and we just kind of had the same. We present ourselves the same way at work. I feel like we kind of like think similarly, and it's very easy. I think because he's so witty and smart and funny and collaborative that I don't feel hesitation asking him questions or talking to him about things. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like how long a TV shoot is, and we had all those months together.
There's like an instant comfort that, like, you kind of either get him or you don't. And then there's like this. I would just remember when I met him, I thought I was waiting to meet Tim Burton, and I thought he was like from the art department or a messenger.
Oh,
and
really?
We were
That's
talking.
funny.
We were having this like great conversation about like Edward Gorey and all this stuff, and then I was like, "Do you know when the Tim Burton is gonna show up?" And he was like, "Oh, that's me." And I was like, "What? What? Oh, do you want me to read?" And he actually like wanted me to do it, which had never happened.
Isn't that great?
I think that was like, it had to. That's like fate, because I was nervous, you know, like. But if you present like you're from the art department,
which he is.
Which he is.
He's an artist. Yeah, really is.
I mean, you were 15, I think, when you did the original, which is even younger than you are now. Like, did you guys bond being kind of on set in this Tim Burton film being so young? Because you know what it's like. A lot of people can say they know, but you really know. So you know bond?
We were saying, I think there's so much affection for the original, and everything had to be perfect for this one to work. And I think, again, fate, because we were waiting for Jenna to be born and grow up and be the perfect age, because she fits so beautifully and into this, like, puzzle or this, like, she's such a incredible, brilliant addition, and it's just, I love her so much. It's
They make it easy. They really do make it easy. I think I was so scared coming onto the set every day and not really knowing. I was kind of in a weird place in my life, and I just didn't anticipate. It's one thing to be a part of a movie like this, but then also work with people like you guys. There's a lot of pressure there. Everyone's giants, everyone's good. You want to do a good job, and I felt like they kind of relieved any pressure that I possibly could have had. Not only being so good at what they do, when you work with people who are such talented actors, they almost make you better. But then also, it's cut, and it's jokes and laughing and communication, and it's not like some cold, distant set at all. It was just so.
That comes
it was
from the
exciting
top.
to go to work every day. It was joyous. I couldn't wait to be back.
What? Why? No!
Serena, what's wrong? Oh, I'm trying to capture the perfect primal scream. I'm going to blow it up, mount it on the wall, and I invite all of you to do the same.
Lastly, for you, obviously you've been a part of my childhood and so many of our childhoods. Like, are you aware of kind of like the place that you sit among people like my age and our childhoods? And I mean that very respectfully.
That's you sound like you're saying something nice.
I am.
I appreciate it. I'd like to think what you're saying is, do you realize what a nightmare you are for people my age? No, thank you. No, I can't think of myself that way. But, people are very kind to me. Sometimes I'm, at my age now, I shouldn't even tell this publicly, but I will, because I'm a fool. No, but I'm laughing with Jenna and Winona and people, a lot of younger people on sets now because of my age. I'm older. And we're all laughing and stuff. And I think, a little later in the day, I'll think, at best, wasn't she adorable old wlady? Whereas in the moment, you're thinking you're all, I'm not thinking I'm the same age at all. I know what I am. But, you're relating and you're laughing and you're joking, whatever. And then, it's just funny to think, none of us know how we're being perceived in this world, as much as we try to control it with social networking.
Well, my 8-year-old knows who you are, obviously from Home Alone and things like that. Lastly, because they're rapping me, like, this is a sequel with original characters. Would you ever consider a Home Alone sequel if they had the original characters?
Well, they did a few of them.
But I'm talking with you and Macaulay again at this age, like a reboot.
No, I would love to work with Macaulay, and I got to see him again last December, and he's so sweet, and I'm so happy for him. He's got a lovely partner and dear little kids, and I'm just really happy for him. So I'd love to work with him. And he's very funny. I think he needs to be appreciated for that. He's just lovely.
The hype around this movie is real. I loved it. I loved all your characters. Can't wait for my son to see it. Maybe when he's a couple of years older. But so you guys did a great job.
Tell your son we said hi.
Yeah.